The starting lineup for the visiting Orlando Magic. At shooting guard, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. At center, Wendell Carter Jr. At the other guard position, Jalen Suggs. At small forward, Franz Wagner. At the other forward position, Paulo Banchero. The head coach of the visiting team is Jamal Mosley. Let's bring out the Dolphins for your Minnesota Timberwolves. At the point, at 6 feet, number 10. Forward, standing 6'9", number 3, Jaden McDaniel. At center, standing 7 feet 1, number 27, Rudy Gobert. At the power forward position, at 6'9", number 30, Julius Randle. The other guard, standing 6'4", number 5, Anthony Edwards.
Welcome, sports fans. Thanks for joining us. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Coach Stan Van Gundy. And joining us from the sidelines is David Aldridge. Now the starting group for Orlando. Wagner and Banchero are the forwards. In the backcourt form, it'll be Suggs and Caldwell-Pope. And it's Carter in at the 5. And for Minnesota, Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniel. Rudy Gobert is out there with Randall, and it's Conley in at point. You know, Greg, so often we talk about depth, but how important is it for these teams to possess it?
Yeah, especially with the amount of injuries we see happen every season. It's so critical that teams have players that are ready to step up and produce. It really allow you to not have to change the way you play.
Now, here's Suggs. Caldwell-Pope with a wide open look. No good with the triple. Edwards against Caldwell-Pope. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
First personal foul.
That one on Caldwell-Pope.
Well, it's so difficult to outsmart Edwards as a defender. He'll just come right into you.
Taking 2 shots.
And the first one drops. And despite his young age, Coach Van Gundy, Anthony Edwards' leadership qualities growing day by day.
Yeah, Kevin, and a lot of it's because he is great at both ends of the court. Confident, charismatic, upbeat. He's learning that delicate balance between taking over a game and bringing his teammates along for the ride.
And so he makes both from the line.
I'm sure they don't want to send him to the line. That has to be in their scouting report.
Wagner outside. Here's the teardrop. That one drops for him.
Well, when you have a scorer as skilled as he is, you do everything you can to get him the looks he needs.
Edwards against Caldwell Pope. Now here's Edwards. Guarded closer. 5 to shoot. The 3. Nailed from three-point land. Edwards got 5 now. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. The Timberwolves on top, up by 3. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. And it's been a pretty even game here after one quarter of play. And looking at what we've seen from the Timberwolves, what do you guys think?
Well, they've been aggressive from the beginning, particularly on the offensive end.
Yeah, and that's helped them get the lead. But we'll have to see if they can sustain this offensive output.
So on the floor for Orlando. In the backcourt form, it'll be Suggs and Caldwell Pope. Underneath, in the post, it's Banchero and Carter Jr. And it's Wagner in at the small forward position.
Not stopping that Gobert from there is right around 100%.
Back to Suggs. The high post shot. Rebound, Minnesota.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Over in the corner, Conley. Pass to Suggs. Looking for Carter. He gets it there. Doubled by Conley. Caldwell Pope outside. From downtown, that one falls, coming off Carter's feet.
And the three-pointer, a big part of KCP's game. About half his shots come from out there.
Caldwell Pope against Edwards. Fires away from outside. Gobert, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Oh, big time putback there. What a great motor on this guy.
There is no one who goes after those rebounds harder. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Timberwolves lead by 4. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. You have to like what we're seeing from Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything that the league can do to slow him down. He's just that good.
Well, he's a problem, no doubt about it. One that opposing teams have to grapple with every time he takes the floor.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Conley and Edwards are the guards. Julius Randle is out there with Rudy Gobert. And it's McDaniels in at the small forward. So that's the Timberwolves 5.
Love the pass there from Gobert. Always nice when your big man feeds his teammates.
Conley against Suggs. Banchero outside. Over Randle. Gobert pulls it in.
Well, and even though he couldn't get that one to fall, that's a shot they want him taking.
Clearly a foul.
First personal foul.
Minnesota shooting their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game.
At the line for 2, Jaden McDaniels.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. That one falls, so he hits both of them. 24 seconds left in the third. Banchero against Randall. Now Banchero. 6 to shoot. Here's Suggs. Gobert with the block, and he gets it back. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. We'll return shortly. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Now that is an elite level dish. What a great passer.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth and final quarter. Fourth quarter on the floor for the Magic. Underneath, in the post, it's Banchero and Carter Jr. Sliding in at the wing, we'll see Caldwell Pope and Wagner. And it's Suggs in at the 1 spot. Now here is Conley. Paolo Banchero unable to get his last shot to go in. Banchero against Edwards. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits.
Just too big a deficit to come back from at this point.
Well, you want your players to keep playing hard, but let's be honest, this game's over.
And now we've got the intentional foul.
Second personal foul. First team foul.
And that's an intentional foul.
Third personal foul. Second team foul. At the line for 2, Anthony Edwards.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
So the first one drops, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's an 8-point game. Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over. They're down by 8. Guys, what's your take?
Licking their wounds. It hasn't come together for them tonight.
But they're not going down without a fight. They'll keep game planning and playing until the final whistle.
Hey fans, who wants a free t-shirt? Make some noise! Who wants a t-shirt? Make some noise!
Here's Banchero. It counts. Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5. Suggs with the steal. Shoots the three. Gobert pulls it in. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
First personal foul. Third team foul. At the line for Minnesota, Julius Randle. 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
He hits the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. And he is unable to get the second one. Now a timeout called by Orlando. They're trailing by 6. Turning here to our analysts, what factors, guys, come to your mind?
They need a quick basket here.
Yeah, and if they can get a decent look from 3, that's the shot to take. Not a lot of time to work.
Six seconds left in the fourth. Suggs finds Banchero. Places one from 3.
Well, what I want to know, where is the communication defensively?
Well, I can tell you, this kind of defense will drive coaches crazy.
And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. Coach clearly feeling the necessity to regroup with so much at stake here. They're going to prolong the game here with an intentional foul.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
At the line for your Timberwolves, Mike Conley, taking 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall. That's good, going 1 of 2 from the line, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And so it's the Timberwolves who come out on top here. They didn't make it easy on themselves or their fans, but in the end, everyone's satisfied.
I mean, there were some times that momentum shifted, and especially early on, but let's give this group a lot of credit for that stick-to-itiveness in terms of finishing out and executing that game plan.
And that'll do it, folks. With Stan Van Gundy, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, folks, on 2K Sports. So long.